We now understand how the four pathways as ranges of values apply to energy. To apply them practically to our everyday lives, recall that matter and energy can be thought of in the context of each other. Each element within matter is actually a form of energy vibrating at a particular rate. In terms of our definition for the four pathways, the various elements of matter aggregate into the courses of action or ways of living that become life and its experiences or difficulties. With matter and energy corresponding as they do, the four fundamental ranges of energy become ranges of matter, and the process of further levels allows them to be translated to a level where the complete range of life experiences exists. And the fact that such a complete range had at its fundamental level four subdivisions has been evident to humanity's great teachers since the dawn of our consciousness. For instance, essential to the Buddha's teachings 2,500 years ago were the Four Noble Truths. They are, briefly, the essence of life is suffering. Suffering is caused by our inordinate desires. The way to relieve suffering is to let go of those desires, and the process whereby we can do so is the Eightfold Path, which entails leading a rightful life. Once arranged in descending energetic order, four key words to represent these truths as pathways could be selfishness, suffering, clarity, release. 500 years later, Jesus similarly taught an understanding of the four pathways in the Gospel of Luke. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. Likewise arranged in descending energetic order, the four ways to love God become soul, heart, mind, strength. Such understandings were not limited to the founders of great religious movements. At around the time that the Buddha's followers began to disseminate his teachings, the leading scientists and philosophers of ancient Greece were beginning to explore the alchemical nature of existence, ideas that would become foundational in many modern occult traditions. The roots of modern Western philosophy extend back to ancient Greece, where great thinkers such as Plato, Aristotle, and their contemporaries saw our world and the universe itself in terms of four ancient elements, to which a correspondence with the energy fields symbolized by the four directions existed. So fire, water, air, and earth corresponded with east, west, north, and south. The energetic truth of the earlier clue concerning four directions should now be clear. These could be assigned to the 4 points of intersecting horizontal and vertical axes. Aristotle established a philosophic understanding for the fields and elements by assigning in his system 4 qualities of existence, which served as energetic bridges between the elements when arranged in this manner. Beginning in the north and traveling clockwise, we have air, wet, water, cold, earth, dry, fire, hot, which then returns back to air. Now note that fire and water have been placed in the east-west order, the reverse of that on a compass. This follows from the overall spiritual left to physical right evolution of energy found in all word equations in the system of quadrality. More than 2 millennia later, as the quest for human understanding turned from the alchemical to the mental, scholars began to place a greater philosophic emphasis on the nature of these ranges of values. The noted 20th century psychiatrist Carl Jung spoke of personality as having 4 philosophic functions: intuition, emotion, perception, sensation. And other modern philosophers and teachers have found their own ways to express an understanding of our connection to four fundamental natures of existence. For instance, Toltec master and author Don Miguel Ruiz teaches about the four agreements, which in the system of quadrality correspond to the spiritual alignments of soul, heart, mind, and strength, or physiologically body. Arthur Young, an innovative engineer and mathematician, developed the theory of process with its understanding of four levels of process to unify consciousness, physics, and life sciences. His references include some that I've mentioned here. Other examples throughout history abound, but we only need the first four cited to establish the four pathways. Buddha, Jesus, Young, and Aristotle align with Buddhism, Christianity, philosophy, and occult. You might ask, what do philosophic models and occult traditions have to do with religion? Aren't psychology and alchemy sciences? Yes. And though it may surprise you, they have plenty to do with religion. We'll see why next in Part 4 in Science.